opportunity to kick goals, and Steins comes off the bench and gives them a little bit around the ground, and a couple of important matchups now with Phoebe on Koutoufidis and of course Hogg on Viney, and two guys at each other all day, Schwarz and D. So let's look forward to this third quarter.
Start of the second half and the Blues leading by 2 points. Irving back on the ground and beats Madden. Williams for Carlton. Wide hand pass for Dean. White now playing up the ground. Sean White gives a good left-hand hand pass. Dyson, Obst. Kick by Obst to full forward. Lyon. Silvani in his back. Here's Charles. Snaps. Going for number 4. Missed it. 3 goals, 1 to Sean Charles.
He is dangerous.
He's hot. He's tremendous. Either way, he goes left, he goes right. He has balance, he has poise, has a high level of skill. Great player.
And he can stop dead and snap the ball very, very quickly. Christou to the half-back line. Peter Dean flies and takes a nice mark. He's looking for someone out wide, and he's found an option. He finds Hannah. Hannah, a little chip pass. They've got the loose man going. Sexton brings it in towards the pocket. Kernahan, no, he can't mark it. And they've got Primke on him, and that's a better matchup as far as height goes than Sean White.
Yes, that's true. I think White was still probably the best option first up with his athleticism, but the second quarter, Kernahan put paid to that.
Chance for the Blues here. Hard ball to win. Brown. Little hand pass. Back out. And another throw in. Charles has kicked 3 goals for Melbourne. Schwarz and Lovett 2 each. Kernahan 3 for Carlton. And Brown has kicked 2. Huge pack of players around this. Kernahan wins in ruck. Viney through. Oh, Lovell gave it away. Trouble for Neitz in front of goal. A little hand pass back. Mitchell to Bond. Snapped by Bond offline behind.
Oh, that was a dangerous hand pass. But that's their game, Melbourne. Possession game. They'll handball anywhere over the ground. So 2 points the Blues lead by. Steve Phoebe. Oh, dangerous kick. Oh, it just clears Barry Mitchell. And the mark taken by Sean White. And I think he'd be a relieved man. Oh, an ordinary kick, but it comes off again. Again, they go that possession game. This time to Primke. And the Melbourne supporters got their hearts in their mouths as Primke brings it to centre wing. Justin Madden and Kernahan. It's towards the centre of the ground. Andrew Obst. He was actually looking for Pike. Charles gets a very poor bounce. Sexton bumped off the ball. Taken by Tommy Alvin. Here's Peter Dean. Bring it out towards Madden. Madden and Steve Phoebe punched away by Madden. Was good play to Gleeson. Gleeson to Mitchell. On to Madden. Madden brings it in towards the pocket. Now the bounce important here. It favours, was it Schwarz way down there or Neitz? It was Neitz. And taken away by Sean White, who takes it over the line. And the Carlton supporters appealing for deliberate, but I think the umpire was right.
Peter, both coaches have let things ride as they open the game. Stein starting on the bench for Melbourne with Hilton.
And Irving in the ruck. Kicked by Brown to the edge of the goal square. Primke marks in front of Kernahan. Away to Andy Lovell. Outside the 50. Tingay and Hannah has been a great battle. Good tackle by Tingay. Oh, well played by Steve Tingay. Missed with the hand pass. Scoop off the deck was good by Irving, the ruckman. Lovell. Matthew Phoebe. His kick to half forward. Oh, top mark by Schwarz. Too far out to score. A lead by Lyon. The kick dropping short. Ball still in play. Here's danger with Charles. Charles fighting hard for it. Good tackling, but Carlton get out of it. Daring kick by Dean.
Tingay caught. Gets in a hand pass, but smothered by Hannah. The vital third term in its early stages. Melbourne, a sudden death for them. If they lose, they're out.
There's been no drop in the intensity of the game. Both sides have come out fully fired up.
Irving and Madden. Oh, Williams comes through the pack and gets yet another free kick because of his skill. And what's the umpire going to do here? Nothing. He's going to let Williams go back and take his kick. Williams gets a lot of free kicks because he gets in after that ball. Now he's chipping it in short to Hannah. Off he goes. A beautifully directed kick. Spalding used his body well. Now, who's got the pace? Spalding gets there first as he got back up support. Good play, Earl Spalding. He did it well. Then knocks it clear. It's knocked further afield. The Blues go forward through Gleeson. It's in front of goal. Primke and Kernahan. Well played, Primke. He kicks in the man coming towards him, Barry Mitchell. It rebounds over the line for a throw-in.
Mitchell, 11 possessions. Williams has also had 11, well below his quota. He's the leading possession winner in the competition, averages 30 a game. White. Primke. He's had to do a lot since he's come on. Lovell just gets the hand pass to Obst. He's kicked to centre wing. Irving. Good mark. Former West Coast Eagle. Laboured in the seconds for most of this season. Just played the last 3 home and away games. His kick astray, looking for Schwarz, and all he did was find Dean.
He's a good player, Dean. Very good, solid, reliable player. Oh, he was going to go short, but a dangerous option it was on that occasion. He brings it over the centre. A pack develops, up they go, with a good mark to Irving. Off he goes to Matthew Phoebe. A long kick. Dean again goes back. He takes another mark. Well played, Peter Dean. He can transfer play. Oh, it might be dangerous. Silvani to Sexton. He can go to Hannah. It's created the loose man. Now, who's further afield? There's no one leading at the moment, so Hannah transfers play back towards Greg Williams. He's underneath it. It's thumped away. Brett Lovett traps it well. Beautiful play. Todd Viney. Here come the Demons. Viney. They've got an option of 2 players. The ball hits the deck. Taken away by Dean. That's good defensive play by Carlton. Here's Glenn Lovett. He's caught. Thrown to the ground. Umpire calls play on. Still a chance. It's a free kick advantage paid. Sean Charles for his 4th, and he's missed. Oh boy, the umpire paid advantage, and Charles missed it. He's not happy with himself.
That's where the players have got to be careful, Peter. I think it's the players who dictate whether the advantage is going to be play or not. Now, this behind play, Koutafidis went down earlier after that big jump. Carlton would not want anything to ever happen to him at this particular stage.
He got up shaking his head, but he looks all right now. In fact, he's leading for this kick. Anthony Koutafidis. Best on ground in the first half. Dean has had a superb start to the 3rd term. Matthew Phoebe. Standing start to centre half forward. McKay and Glenn Lovett. Alvin. Irving and Madden. This is a bit of fun. Irving's going like a rocket this quarter. Gets it back from Obst. Long kick. Lyon. Oh, what a mark by Pike! Did he fly for that one?
That was a brilliant mark.
As Silvani and Lyon jostle for position, he gets a straight run out of here. Sexton allowed him to have the front position. Everyone else went for the ball. Pike's mark.
This to put the Demons 5 points in front. Pike's 2nd goal.
It just seems that at this stage the ball is travelling a little bit further in the direction that Melbourne are kicking. Whether the breeze is having influence out there at the moment or not, but Peter Dean's last couple of kicks seem to hang up into the breeze, whereas Irving then on the run delivered the ball a good 55 metres into there for Pike to be able to take that fine mark and finish off with the goal.
The Demons by 5 points. Justin Madden. He was looking for Williams. Kicked away by Todd Viney. Here's Obst. He goes back to Matthew Phoebe. Oh, an ordinary kick off the side of the boot. And out on... Oh, no, it was Steve Phoebe. So that's why the left foot kick wobble. With Matthew normally on his left foot, kicks beautifully. Andrew McKay towards Madden. No mark to Neitz. And the umpire paid it. Yes, he has. So David Neitz. Bringing in towards half forward. McKay sets himself again and didn't waver. Did not take his eyes off and took a good strong mark. Not a lot happening for Carl. Dangerous kick. Mitchell is there and Ratton. Tingay. Hogg. Christou, still going Christou. That's good play, but he can't pick it up. Where's Mitchell? Oh, he went without it. Quick hand pass. Todd Viney. No, it's not. It's Dyson. He goes to ground. Still Melbourne. Glenn Lovett. Gee, they're working hard, Melbourne. Out it comes to Viney. Viney, the chip pass. Lyon. He's underneath it, and Tommy Alvin will mop up for the Blues.
Good clearance by Alvin. Close to the boundary line. Spalding. Good tackle by Tingay. Hannah dropped a bit short of Hogg, but eventually got there. Kick by Hogg to half forward. Gleeson. Floating over the top was Lovell with the perfect sit. Across the half back line, looking for White. Brown is there. White and Brown, a colourful contest. Here's Fraser Brown. Open goal. And he's kicked it.
Magnificent.
And the Blues back in front.
That is a brilliant goal, Terry.
It really was. Andy Lovell, they'll be very disappointed with his execution of the skill here. He's gone straight across the ground to Sean White. The bounce didn't favour him. He tried to tap it on, but it was Fraser Brown who was able to keep the ball, just paddle along in front of him, and then finally break it open for his third goal of the game. And he's proving to be a valuable half-forward flanker here this afternoon.
The short game once again letting them down. The Blues by a point. Madden. Williams. The hand pass. Comes out to Norris. In towards half forward. And the mark has been taken by Glenn Lovett. And it was Steve Phoebe who gave that original pass. Glenn Lovett to put Melbourne back in front. He kicks. Did it swing back? I think it's a goal. Yes. Well, what a game we're seeing. 3 goals to Glenn Lovett. And now Melbourne by 5 points.
And this is the period of the game where there's a real test of strength. Not so much physical strength, but the mental strength as to which side is going to stick to their game plan, adhere to both the defensive and offensive aspects of their game, while being prepared to do everything possible to win the ball.
Well, the lead has changed 3 times in 4 minutes. Dyson out of the middle, and Alvin takes the mark in defence for the Blues. Stein's back on the ground, and Irving had been a star in the middle at the start of this quarter for Melbourne. Ratton low. Hannah takes the mark centre wing. Kick by Hannah to the 50. Kernahan. Melbourne leading by 5 points. Kernahan too far out even for him. In short, this is dangerous.
That is shocking football by Carlton. Why wouldn't you kick it to the top of the square and put them under pressure?
Viney to Steins. Oh, he's dropped it right in front. Here's a chance for Gleeson. He dropped it. Lovell.
Well, Gleeson's lack of pace found him out then. So that's Matthew Phoebe hooking it around in the direction of Obst. And Obst not happy with that pass. Neil Baum and Greg Wells, who'd want to be a coach. Celebrates Melbourne 4-0 in the third term, Terry.
Yeah, Dean Irving started so very well in there, but Neil Baum sticking with his pre-game plan of rolling them over, and Steins is the one in the ground at the moment.
Justin Madden, a free kick in that ruck contest. He should be moving it quickly down in the direction of Kernahan. Now he centres this one. Kernahan is there. Primke edges him out. Good mark, Paul Primke. He's doing all right.
It's a good effort against a quality opponent like Kernahan to move in like that.
Kick by Primke towards the outer side. Schwarz is there. Steins loping after it. Glenn Lovett, who's been a best and fairest winner and a runner-up. He's run this ball out and we'll have a throw-in.
Well, certainly Melbourne look quicker.
They do just at the moment, and that would be a nervous type of a sign for David Parkin, because last year they were branded as not being quick enough to win the flag. Are they any quicker this year?
Here's Kounafides breaking out to Kernahan. Primke in front again. Takes the mark.
That could be a match-winning move, that one. Paul Primke, a very, very underrated player. Brings it to centre wing. Oh, good mark. And it's taken by Matthew Phoebe, who's had an outstanding season. One of the best half-back players in the league. In towards half-forward, it's no mark, but it's a loose ball. Tingay chips it into the pocket. Great play, Melbourne, as Lyon takes the mark 25 metres from goal.
Mitchell bench for the Blues with 11 possessions, replaced by Lynn.
Well, danger signs for Carlton. Garry Lyon, a big kick coming up, an acute angle. He kicks. It starts to drift. And he's kicked to behind. It must have been fairly close looking on Lyon's reaction.
So for Carlton, Earl Spalding's now gone into the ruck with Justin Madden to the bench and James Cook into the forward line.
8.5 minutes to three-quarter time. One straight kick the difference. Melbourne by 6 points. Kick by Dean. Looking for Williams with Steins. But Williams had little chance. Charles goes back to Obst. Kick wide is good. And Pike is proving a real problem.
Drew, one of the advantages there of the outriding system, if you can win possession of the ball quickly across half forward, you will have a spare forward free deep in the forward pocket.
He's kicked 2 goals, Pike. This from 35 metres across the face.
Oh, gee.
Another behind.
They're letting Carlton off the hook here.
2 very gettable shots there, Pike and Lyon in succession. Barry Mitchell, Justin Madden, and Adrian Whitehead on the bench.
So Peter Dean again sensibly going long. There's Sean Charles flying for it. Matthew Phoebe sprints clear. Brings it in towards the pocket. Thump the ground. It's another loose ball. Who's going to end up with it? It's Dyson. He sprints away. Kevin Dyson, another bomb at goal. They've kicked yet another point. Gee, the Carlton supporters. And of course, David Park and his selection panel would be breathing a sigh of relief.
They certainly would. Melbourne have really got them under pressure. If they can pick up, just 1 or 2 of these quick goals now, they'll have a very, put themselves in a fine position.
Melbourne in the sudden death position. They need to win.
And Drew, I think that's what allows Melbourne to be a lot freer in this game. I mean, they've got nothing to lose, and they can have a go at a lot of different aspects of the game, and they've been very aggressive in everything they've undertaken here today.
Schwarz 2 goals today after his 9 last week. The 2 numbers 11 in the ruck. Spalding and Steins. Comes to Matthew Phoebe. Out in front of goal. Chance for the Demons here. Pike. Oh, well done. Turned them inside out. Goes for goal. And I think he's... Oh, just grazed the post.
Oh, can't believe this.
He has kicked 2 goals, 3 and 1 out of bounds.
Look at Neil Baum and Greg Wells. I mean, they could have buried Carlton in this passage. They only lead by 9 points. And they've had all the play for the last 10 minutes. Here's Hannah receiving a beautiful kick in from Peter Dean.
2 goals, 6 to 1 goal, 1 in this quarter.
Now, here's Spalding. I wouldn't mind betting they race down and get a goal here. Alvin goes back to McKay. McKay's going to kick it long. Cook and Kernahan. Kernahan can't mark. It hits the deck. Here's Gleeson on the left foot. Oh, look at the smother. Still Gleeson. Well played, Andy Lovett. Is that a free kick to Gleeson? On the boundary line, but Gleeson's lack of pace often causes him to get smothered.
Yeah, hung on to a little bit longer. Andy Lovett, he's just committed to smothering that ball and put everything in behind it.
Lovell, 21 possessions, had a big game. White gets the hand pass through. Bit of a fumble by Phoebe. Glenn Lovett. Matthew Phoebe applies the tackle on McKay, but he gets the hand pass away. Lynn just on the ground. Cook. And the ball out of play. Throw in. James Cook spent a little bit of time on the ground in the second quarter, and had no sooner come on, took a mark and kicked a goal.
I've seen Melbourne in a couple of games this year absolutely dominate play but not put the score on the board, and then they've been beaten in the last quarter. Let's hope for their sake, they can do something better today. Here's Tingay, halfback, a wobbly kick, but it's a desired effect. It's right down towards Garry Lyon. Silvani at the back. Well played by Lyon. And eventually forced over the line. Good play in the finish because there was 2-on-1 to Carlton.
Yeah, I think he clearly saw Milhana coming into him and have no support from his Melbourne teammates. So very well disguised drop it over the line from Garry Lyon.
Free kicks for the match, 16-5. That's incredible. Here goes David Schwarz. Surely he'll kick this one. Nobody coming at him. And he gets it. He's kicked 3. 1 in each quarter for David Schwarz. And now a mini break for the Demons.
Well, this Carlton defence that we've spoken about, that really needs a fair bagging from David Pike in that particular play. How is it there can be a boundary throw-in and then no Carlton defender between that boundary throw-in and the goals, which are some 50 metres away? Schwarz, a clear run onto it, finish off for his 3rd.
15 points the Demons lead by, and they deserve to because they've dominated this quarter as Andrew McKay goes forward. Tommy Alvin the flyer. Melbourne look fresher, they look quicker. But Carlton are at top side, they'll come back. Here's Andrew Ops receiving from Glenn Lovett. The kick goes straight to Spalding. Spalding bombs it in long, up towards half forward. Here's the Blues with a big chance here. Fraser Brown taps it out to Lynn. Still Fraser Brown. Tries to hook it back. He should have handballed to Gleeson. He went for another miraculous one and puts it out on the full.
It can often happen in this sort of position where an individual player decides he's going to do it all on his own and at times lose sight of his teammates around him. Perhaps Fraser Brown should have found Tony Lynn with a quick hand pass there.
Kick by Steve Phoebe. Kernahan. Charles tied him up pretty well there. Excellent. The Melbourne members appreciated that. I tell you, who'd be watching this nervously would be the Hawthorn players, because if Melbourne win this, out go the Hawks.
Most definitely, Drew.
Soccer forward. There's Steve Phoebe. His twin brother Matthew takes it off him. Kicked by Matthew, the centre wing. Schwarz who kicked the last goal. That was a kick and hope. Silvani leaves line. Spalding, Dean. Looking a bit ragged, Carlton. Koutafidis takes this mark. Play on, says the umpire. Charles with his pace. It's a great advantage. Well done by Charles. Schwarz, ordinary looking kick. Missed Lovett. Hannah.
Hannah will come back. Oh, he put it on the ground. Umpire gave him the benefit. Here's Schwarz. Breaks the tackle. Well played, David Schwarz. Now Tingay centres the ball on the left foot. A big chance for Steins. He can't mark. No free kick. He races after it. Silvani. Was it in his back? No. Silvani lopes away. Handball over the top. The Blues might get out of jail here. Sexton, a long kick. There's no one there. Oh, pushed out was Cook. Definite free kick. Pushing the back to James Cook. Now he's a pretty long kick. He'll have to kick it almost 55 metres. So James Cook. He kicks it short. It's a poor kick. Andrew McKay's got it. He's caught. Gets in a hand pass. Gee, the Demons are doing well down there in defence. They've got the Blues covered down there. And they lock it in again for a bounce.
Not a good choice there by James Cook to go short to Greg Williams on the lead when he had Kernahan back in the square. You need to be able to put the pressure on Melbourne here and have the ball in your own 10-metre square. Kernahan was there for that reason.
Demons by 15 points, close to three-quarter time. Koutafidis still going. Very high kick. High, wide, not all that handsome. Punched by Matthew Phoebe. Stephen Phoebe was good. Brett Lovett. Breaks one, breaks another. On his own up here is Todd Viney, 50 metres out. He's got Charles going past. Viney, short passes for Schwarz. Well, it's across the ground, it's still 50 metres out. Schwarz goes for a run, goes for goal! In the goal square, Charles, and he kicks his fourth. Well, they're looking pretty impressive now, leading by 21 points.
And there's some telltale signs for Carlton just at the moment. I mean, Carlton on a historical basis have always prided the third quarter as being their premiership quarter, and many great wins have been based upon that. But in this particular position here, Melbourne are the ones who are making the ascendancy. They've got the run and they've got the use of the ball. They're looking very, very good.
68 to 89. Let's see if the Blues can come back. Sean Charles again goes forward. Hannah puts himself in front. Can't mark. It's a loose ball. Todd Viney. Hand pass back. Here's Garry Lyon from 40 metres. The captain goes bang. Thank you very much. It's another one. Brilliant display by Melbourne, and Carlton look very, very slow and tired.
They do, Peter. Their heads are down. There's lots of hands on hips just at the moment. David Pike is going to really have to pull something out here. Neil Balmer has done very well today in his coaching. He's showed a lot of confidence in his players. We had shots of him on the screen where he didn't look all that convinced about what was going on, but he's stuck with it. Now that he's got Sean Charles in the centre bounces, that one has made a very big impact on the game.
Close to three-quarter time. 2.25 minutes left. And this has been a 9-goal turnaround from 26 points down to 27 points up for Melbourne. Kudafiti's short pass. Gleeson drops the mark.
Well, he got in the way of his teammate then.
It was meant for Cook, yeah.
That's right.
And Printke's done very well. Neil Baum knew all about him. Played for the Eagles in South Australia under Neil Baum.
Well, a mighty effort this by Melbourne. There's no doubt about it. Here's Tony Lynn trying to crash his way through the pack. I tell you what, they've badly missed Bradley. Badly missed him around the centre of the ground with his breakaway moves.
These conditions would certainly suit him. If he was playing on the wing or at ruck rover, he would have found space where Carlton players haven't been able to today. But
Melbourne been far too good in this quarter. They should be further in front, in fact. They've been very committed. Here's James Cook trying to handball it back. Fraser Brown can't trap it. And over the line it goes with just over a minute of play left of three-quarter time. A huge task for the Blues.
Well, Carlton have kicked just 1 goal, 1 in this quarter. Melbourne 5-6. Clean possession, Kernahan, then lost it. Williams. And you can point a little bit of a bone at Greg Williams. He's been kept to 11 possessions, and that's way below quota. And you stop Williams, they lose the game.
Drew, there may also be the question mark. I mean, how ill was he last week? And he may still be carrying some effects of that, but he hasn't been up to his level of performance today.
Well, if he had a cold like I've got today, I can understand him missing. He should have missed about a month, I reckon.
So a throw-in, 40 metres out from the Blues' goal. Gee, they could do with one before three-quarter time. They've got 40 seconds. Kernahan. Gleeson, Kernahan, a quick kick. Down towards Cook. He went without it. Primke has been good since coming on the ground. Neat. Andy Lovell. Tingay. Oh, he dropped the mark. Oh, here's danger. Because Christo around the corner on the left foot. A brilliant snap, Christo. A great goal. Well, the halfback flanker has kicked the ripper. And Carlton come back.
And to say that they need it would be the understatement. This was it was a bit hard on Andy Lovell here. He hits the ball perfectly to Tingay, and Tingay drops what he should have taken. Parkin had earlier made the move that Christo had gone down onto Tingay with Hannah going back to half back, and Christo on that left foot made him pay.
Whitehead's come on the ground for Carlton. Mitchell is back. Alvin out of the middle. Lovell has been superb for Melbourne. Obst. Raking kick to half forward, but straight to Sexton, who takes the mark. Last few seconds in the third quarter. Kick by Sexton. And there's the siren. A quarter dominated by Melbourne, and they should have actually kicked more than they did. But they ran away from Carlton in that turn. And were fantastic to lead by 21 points at the last change. And I think people who thought Carlton, if they weren't odds on, were certainly premiership favourites, are having a rethink. And there's Craig Bradley, unfortunately, having a stretch in the grandstand rather than being out there. And David Schwarz kicked a goal there, 3 for the game. Lovett kicked a goal, 3 for the game. Sean Charles kicked a goal in that quarter, 4 for the game. And Neil Baum's boys have a pretty handy lead, 14-11-95 to 11-8-74. Be watching on nervously because if Melbourne win, out go the Hawks.
So the umpire about it to start the final term. Melbourne in the ascendancy. Can the Blues show that they're a top side and come back? There's Mitchell. Oh no, it's Hogg behind the play now. Mitchell had the ball, but Hogg must have been interfered with in the pack. What Carlton need is one or two very, very quick goals to put the pressure on the Demons. Here's the kick down to the forward line. The mark is dropped. Here's a hand pass coming further afield. That's Norrish getting out a hand pass. Matthew Phoebe. Now Sean White, the chip pass, and he finds Todd Viney at half back. Viney, been a good player. Matthew Phoebe to the half forward line. Schwarz and Sexton. Hannah comes in to lend a hand and takes a great mark.
Yes, Mil Hannah, 10 marks and coming up for his 16th disposal. If he gets rid of it, McKay floats one back to Silvani. Lucky old kick onto the chest of Mitchell. To Alvin. The Blues need some run up the middle. But standing firm in defence is Stephen Phoebe. Kick by Steve Phoebe to Charles. Sexton has the height over him and beats him. But Charles comes back into the contest. He's got the pace. Can't beat Mitchell's tackle. Sexton again over the head of Ratton. Brown, they're going round in circles, the Blues. They have the players. Williams.
Greg Williams goes inside with a hand pass. Hogg, a further hand pass. Tommy Alvin races in the goal. Was it touched? Yes. Oh, Pookie. It's a lifesaver. Right on the line, he has touched it.
I fancy Alvin not giving that some elevation. He was only about 35 metres out.
Well, Carlton are kicking very poorly, actually, around the ground as well.
And here's a man on his own, Stephen Phoebe. Brett Lovett up at centre wing. Leaves it for Schwarz. Lovett goes on. Here's Lovett, unmarked at half forward. Centering kick. Pike is there. And Charles, he's a danger man. Oh, ripped away by McKay. Now the turnover costly for Melbourne because here are the Blues in the middle. Oh, Mitchell, you would read about it.
Well, Carlton go forward again. Good mark, Sean White.
Well, Melbourne voting very well here. They haven't scored yet, but they're right in it.
Matthew Phoebe. Gee, they're making some Blues. Carlton, you cannot afford that either. Silvani thumps it down. That's a good punch. It finds Hannah. Hannah's trying to break the tackle. He does so. McKay further afield. Mitchell. Now Hogg. Hogg breaks the tackle. It's an ordinary hand pass. But Christou runs onto it on the left boot. A one-out contest. Who's there? It's Kernahan at the back with Primke. But Primke's got backup support from Stephen Phoebe. And away they go, the Demons, through Andy Lovell.
And he's knocked over after he got rid of his kick. Umpire coming in and having a word with Cook. A relayed free up the ground. So it's taken by Neitz. Up to Schwarz. Sexton does well. McKay, always a superb player. This time the hand pass misses Sexton and goes out of bounds. McKay, 21 possessions.
Carlton are doing tired things, Terry.
They are. They haven't got any sharpness or crispness about their play in any component whatsoever at the moment, and particularly in the real aggression in close. I think Melbourne have a sniff of victory and are really going for it here.
Good play by Sexton then. That was brilliant play to get that to Williams. It looked like it was going to roll out of bounds. Here's the ball over the back. Carlton try to get it out there. Desperate Melbourne. There's Cook getting it towards the little fella Mitchell, and it's a free kick going the way of the Demons.
Yes, against Tony Lynn.
It's Tony Lynn. And it'll go to Phoebe. And I'll tell you which one it is after he kicks. I think it's Steve Phoebe this time. It is. As he brings it towards half forward. Sexton at the back. Having a good battle down there. Silvani, a long hand pass. The Demons through Brett Lovett. Here they come again through Lyon. Now Tingay as it's smothered off the boot. A vital couple of minutes coming up here as Ratton gets it back to Sexton. Look at the Demons coming crashing in. Well played, Fraser Brown, as he tries to beat one too many, and he's brought the ground by Tingay.
Jim Steins, I think it is, down for Melbourne.
Steins is down, and Irving went straight to big Justin Madden and remonstrated very vigorously with him.
And Viney as well. Viney, so There's nothing happening on the scoreboard at the moment. Melbourne still leading by 20 points. Oh, Pike should have marked that one. Dean. Will somebody stand up and grab this game?
Carlton are fumbling.
Carlton free, taken by Hannah. Alvin. They do look tired on the big MCG. Through Dean to Silvani. Short pass to Cook. Too far out to score. In the centre square.
Oh.
He goes very wide. Stephen Phoebe's there. The two Phoebes have been terrific.
Kernahan was one out in the goal square. Why wouldn't you kick it down there? Here's Dyson. Well, to half forward, Garry Lyon. Good mark. Off he goes. The Melbourne captain kicks long. That's the way to do it. Down towards the square. It's touched. What can they do? Here's Glenn Lovett. A hand pass back. They've got a big chance here. Here's Pike. A quick kick in front of goal. Still a chance for Schwarz, but it's thumped through. And in fact, it hit the behind post. So it'll be a throw-in. Deep in that forward pocket for the Demons. Carlton have had heaps of chances. It was shocking play by Cook a moment ago, not to kick it long to the square.
When you have a player of the calibre of Kernahan in the goal square, you've got to go there. And in the position that Carlton are in, they cannot afford not to be direct at the particular point in time.
Well, Andrew McKay handballs it well. His handball is straight to Andrew Obbs, who has missed the sitter, and he holds his head in shame. But the minutes are ticking down. 14 and a half minutes left. 14-12 to 11-9, and Carlton don't look like catching the Demons.
I think Parkman's got to look at Justin Madden just at the moment. You know, he's playing in forward of the play. He's not getting back to assist his defenders. I think there needs to be a change in that particular tactic.
Alvin, short of centre wing. He looked for Hogg. Tingay was there. Melbourne had the numbers. Schwarz, short pass. Viney, another short pass. Uncontested is Pike. First goal of the last quarter, and a very big break to the Demons. Gee, you'd like to be on them now.
You would, and you wouldn't like to be a Hawthorn supporter at this point in time either. But Melbourne really doing everything that's possible here now. This is their first score for the quarter, but that does not indicate the amount of work that they've put in. They've been extremely intense in everything they've done, and they deserve to be the first scorer of this quarter.
Well, look at their forward line. Charles has kicked 4. Pike has kicked 3, Glenn Lovett's kicked 3, Schwarz has kicked 3, and Lyon's kicked 2, so it's been a very even performance. So, Ratton.
Todd Viney being sent off here by the blood rule by the look of it. The umpire has to wait until the change is made. There'll be Hopwood coming on, and Obbs coming off at the same time, is it? For Hilton.
So Andy Lovell with a grin on the face.
Parkin also tossing his side around. Tony Lynn's gone back onto Sean Charles, and Tommy Elvin coming out, which I think is a good move to get some run going through the midfield.
So Madden and Steins. Madden with the left hand. Carlton try and crash through. It's a hold in the man decision to Matthew Hogg. They need goals. They need them quickly. Here's Elvin. Fraser Brown. Oh, Melbourne players coming from everywhere. Sean Charles. Oh, Phoebe gives it across to Tingay. Tingay long, and a good diving mark, and it's taken by Steve Silvani.
Told to play on Silvani. Alvin. Oh, haven't they dropped some sitters? This is unbelievable. Sexton goes off the ground. Melbourne looks certainties at the moment. There's Whitehead. Took a long time. Play on, says the umpire. Brown. Norris got him, holding the ball.
They're rattled, Carlton, unfortunately. Fraser Brown just giving a demonstration there of he's losing personal control. If they're going to come back into it, each individual player has to take stock of what he's about and not get caught up in an emotion of trying to take Melbourne on in any other shape or form. And he's the man at the moment. He's been tremendous all day. Peter Dean certainly has had his hands full.
Off he goes, a low trajectory kick. It's a beautiful kick, and guess who's marked it? It's Jeff Hilton, who's just come on the ground. And if he kicks this, goodbye. But he's not going to have a shot. He's going to transfer play to Pike, who's directly in front. And Carlton, I reckon, are gone. If he kicks this, They look slow, they look tired, and I don't know whether the MCG is their ground.
If he kicks this, everything comes back to haunt Carlton from last year.
So Pike from directly in front kicks a goal, and he kicks his fourth. And the Demon supporters are ecstatic. A top performances by Melbourne. 16-12 plays 11-9.
And so Melbourne entered the game with nothing to lose, and they've played that way. What type of frame that Carlton came in, I'm unsure. But what today has done is he's exposed the weaknesses that they had last year in the grand final against Essendon. They definitely lack pace. They haven't got leg speed across the ground for the MCG. And it's only been Kouta-Feedy who has found that.
Well, the Demons running riot here. Mitchell goes back. Lynn. Kick by Lynn. Cook is there. Can't take the mark. Kernahan interfered with White, but there was no whistle. Comes back to Sean White. Look at the Melbourne players unmarked on centre wing. Steins takes the mark. Carlton have kicked just one behind in this last quarter. Dyson. Kick by Dyson. Good effort. Schwarz is there. Looks pretty good when they go long to a tall marking forward.
They certainly do, and they've got a couple of the best in the business, crew. And David Schwarz has taken all before him this year and is done extremely well. As Glenn Lovett comes off, a job well done, and Todd Viney returns to the arena.
They've got terrific mid-sized players, Melbourne, haven't they?
They have. They've matched up very well to Carlton. Admittedly, Carlton without Bradley, it's a different side, but Melbourne, you can take nothing away from their performance today.
Schwarz to become Melbourne's third player to kick 4 goals. Schwarz has kicked 1 in each quarter. Well, when they met in round 12, Carlton won by 27 points. Melbourne haven't beaten them for 3 years, and in a final, a lot of them playing in their first final, up they bop.
I'll tell you what, there is nothing between the top 8 sides, and a lot of people were cynical about the top 8, but really the top 8 are capable of beating each other on a given day.
Oh, it certainly is, and it makes you question whether the 6th side should get a second chance.
So back in the centre, 75 to 114. This is starting to become a bit embarrassing as Brett Lovett gets it to Viney. Those medium-sized players combining again down towards half-forward. Taken away by Peter Dean. He's tried very hard in the fence. Kicks it wide, and he'll find Christou.
Raking kick by Christou. Well, Cook got one hand to it, not enough. Brown. Here's Mitchell. Short pass to Kernahan. And it should be a certain goal to the skipper, who had one little purple patch where he kicked 3 goals in about 8 minutes. And apart from that, has not done a lot. He's had just 4 marks, 6 kicks. It all looks too late. He's hit the post. Well, they've dropped simple chest marks. Kernahan's kicked a couple of shockers, and now Silvani's off the ground to further confound things.
Spalding's on the ground, Silvani off, and here's Paul Primke, bring it to the centre of the ground, thumped away. Brett Lovett, hand pass comes to Steins. That was from Todd Viney. Up towards half-forward, a good attempt by Schwarz. Taken by Hilton, good kick. Charles in front of goal with Lyon. Thumped away by Ratton. Oh, Garry Lyon's got it on the left boot. He hooks it back. Sexton and Charles. Charles still got it around the corner, goes Charles. And in fact, I think it cleared the line. It'll be a throw-in deep in that forward pocket.
Been a good player, Sean Charles.
And what was great there was he never allowed the ball to be dead. The boundary umpire had to call it. He wanted it, regardless of where it had gone.
Here he comes. Snap for goal. Oh, great kick just offline.
He's a good player.
4 goals, 3. Sean Charles.
He makes you think he'd chase it into the grandstand just at the moment, Sean Charles. Whereas Carlton have got problems everywhere just at the moment. Silvani now being added to their injury list. There's not much going for the Blues at the moment.
Well, they have a double chance. They're in a semi-final next week, but they don't want injuries to complicate this.
They want to play better than this, Drew. This is Peter Dean onto Andrew Mackay. Mackay a floating kick to half forward. Kernahan a good mark. He just hung in the air and took a ripper. Now he's got to kick this. Well, I don't think they can win. The way they're playing, they have dropped a lot of easy marks today. The captain kicks for his fourth from 45 minutes. A shocking kick. I think this is out in the full. Oh, it's not Carlton's day.
That is unbelievable. Down on the boundary line, Dipper.
Well, Silvani is having his right ankle looked at. He's had it iced, and he doesn't look too concerned. So for the Blues, he might be back next week.
The kick in. Kernahan climbs again. Can't mark. Neats back to Steve Phoebe. Back to Neats, but over the line. Of course, the other thing that can happen later on is if, by some fluke, Collingwood win over in Perth, then
Doggies go out as well.
Footscray go out as well.
But I'll tell you what, Melbourne, any final that's played here, they'd be hard to beat because they really do play the MCG particularly well. As we see Tony Lynn centering the ball, James Cook appealing for a free kick, umpire having none of that. Christo is in there. Look at the Demons. Andy Lovell gets it to Primke. He eventually holding the ball, said the umpire, too long.
Yeah, he went for the handball first and then went for a kick. You can't afford to have that many actions while you've got possession of the ball. And I think that was a very good decision there by umpire Allen, I think it is.
And Adrian Whitehead, the interchange player who laid the tackle, will get the kick from 40 metres. Let's see if he can kick straight. There's the kick. Drifts to the right. Don't tell me that's another miss. It is.
There'll just be a lack of confidence right throughout the Carlton side just at the moment, Peter. And none of the players look as if they can attack their task with any degree of self-confidence whatsoever. I guess when you have a quality player like Kernahan missing relatively easy shots at goals, that has got to influence everybody.
Kick by Dyson. Here's Kernahan, 20 metres in the clear. Centre wing. Big pack down here. Brown got a hand to it. Here's Christou. Back to Fraser Brown. Out in front of goal. Cook. Diving mark by James Cook. And the Blues surely will get their first goal of this last quarter. But it's taken 17 and a half minutes. But the way they've kicked, there's no certainty.
Since half-time, Drew, when you analyse it, they have been annihilated all around the ground. Carlton should have buried them in the third quarter. Melbourne should have buried Carlton in the third quarter. They had that much of the play.
Here's James Cook for his second goal. And gets it.
It's very hard to assess the Carlton performance just at the moment. As we have called, there is nothing that's gone well for them today. I think what David Parkin and his match committee have got to do is just take stock of it and just wipe this slate extremely clean. This has got to be one that they put away because they haven't got anything else in what they're putting up there today. This is their best side.
83 to 115 and... well, you've got to remember they came into the final series with a bad loss to Essendon in the final game. There's Brett Lovett. And like last year, the Swans nearly beat them at home in the final game. They won by a point at Carlton, that was too. Now in towards half forward. With no mark, taken by Sexton. Out wide is Christou. He's got back up support from Hogg, who's been very quiet, but great play by Sean White. That allows Matthew Phoebe. He's had a terrific season. On to Tingay. And Tingay, way out at half forward, brings it into Pike and hits him on the navel. So, Martin Pike is going to kick for his fifth. He's been a surprise packet up forward this year.
And that would be 5 goals 2 weeks in a row. He got 5 against the Swans.
Well, he started his career at Melbourne as a backman. This has been a bonus for Neil Baum. The long kick, but he's hooked it and out in the full.
And that's the thing, that all their goal scorers have come into this game in form and will go out with form. And David Parkin there on screen has much to contemplate, whereas Neil Baum, he's got everything going for him at the moment.
Well, they haven't cleared the area yet, Carlton. And the ball's out of bounds. It's only about 40 metres from goal.
And he still looks worried, Barmy. Who'd coach?
Hasn't he had the highs and lows in one season? They won 5 in a row at the start of the year to top the ladder. Then they got in the horrors and fell down to about 13th, I think, at one stage they were. Just got into the finals in the last game, and they're going to beat Carlton, who finished second. Stones and Madden. Williams. Is it a shocker or just ordinary? Very quiet.
Greg Williams. Well, you've got to give credit to the guys playing on him, I think. I mean, we can always say a bloke's been crook a week ago and all that sort of thing, but I'm more inclined to give credit to the guys that are picking him up.
And also, Peter, without Craig Bradley in the side, that focuses more attention in onto Williams, where Bradley's presence dissipates that somewhat.
Well, here's Brett Lovett. Schwarz, gee, they're playing great football now. There's Hopgood. Gets it out to Lyon, into Charles. Here's Dyson. Dyson, hand pass back. Quick kick was by Tingay. Sean Charles pushed in the back. Yes! So Sean Charles is going to kick for his 5th. Steve Silvani looks on ruefully. He's tried hard. He did pretty well on Garry Lyon early.
Oh, yeah. Lyon has only come in with 2 goals, and I think, you know, in such an avalanche as this game has turned out to be for Melbourne, that's quite a good effort by Silvani.
And Pete, he's going for 5 2 weeks in a row.
Well, their forward line's been terrific. Sean Charles for goal number 5, right on 50. Keeps this one low. It swings back right through the middle. 5 goals to this talented young half-forward flanker, and the Neiman fans are ecstatic. 18-13 to 12-11. This is becoming a hiding.
And to think Melbourne have kicked 13 goals to 3 from 5 minutes prior to half-time. They've just taken complete control. And this man, Sean Charles, has been one of the best on the ground for mine. He's been there whenever it was necessary and finished it all off so very well.
Just under 4.5 minutes to go. Tingay for Melbourne. Here they go. Steins. Garry Lyon. Got some chances up forward with Pike and Charles, but he goes out wide to Hilton. It's Hopgood, and Hopgood marks about 45 metres out.
Haven't they got some beauties? Hilton, Tingay and Hopgood, all those blonde-headed guys at the same size.
Paul Hopgood. Oh, it's a good-looking kick. He's done it. No, he hasn't. Just offline. Well, the Melbourne fans behind were pretty happy about it. That fooled me. 39 points the margin, and at one stage they trailed by 26.
Sexton's dropped the mark off his chest. Well, have they dropped some marks today? And this time has not dropped. It's Andrew McKay. He doesn't drop too many. He's on centre wing. Well, the Melbourne back line has been fantastic down there. Here's Bond. I would have left him on with his pace. And a beautiful kick to Cook, and hits him on the chest. James Cook, 30 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, you're right there, Peter. Carlton aren't going to get any quicker on the ground if Bond isn't out there. They need that type of pace around the flanks to be able to stimulate what their need really is for improvement.
So James Cook kicking for his 3rd. He started on interchange. He stabs at that one. It's a good-looking kick. And it's a goal. So he's certainly got some talent, young James Cook. But Carlton are very sensitive when you mention their lack of speed, Terry. I know they claim they're not slow.
That's true. I've seen interviews with David Parkin and Cole Kinnear, who both believe that last year was the grand final was just a day out, and perhaps that was so. I mean, over the last 2 years, this is their 46th game, and they've had 30 wins in that and only 1 draw. So over 2 years, they've been a very consistent side, but in the real crunch, they've been caught out.
3 minutes left. Brett Lovett. There's another goal coming up to the Demons. Tingay. His pass for Schwarz. Well, we saw him kick them from the boundary line in Sydney last week. He gives this one off, and Lovell takes the mark. Andy Lovell hasn't participated in this feast yet.
19 kicks and 8 handballs he's had.
For mine, he's been best player on the ground, Peter. I mean, he was tremendous early when it was strong and hard in the back for Melbourne, and has given the run that they needed.
Well,
and here he is running that far to get a shot at goal.
40 metres out, hooked it.
They've all done well, Melbourne, haven't they, when you look through their side? Hasn't it been a consistent... Blokes like Dyson and Matthew Phoebe, Charles, Stephen Phoebe.
And at the same time, all the Carlton players have dropped off. Koutafidis, who'd played so well with some 13 possessions at half-time, sits now with only some 18, so only a couple since then.
Ratton towards the half-back line. Oh, look at that for the big fella. Schwarz, great kick, a long kick to the pocket. Charles has it punched away by Brett Ratton. But their goal kickers, Schwarz 4, Glenn Lovett 3, 4 to Pike, 5 to Charles. Gee, that's a multi-pronged forward line. Garry Lyon 2. Here's Big Madden. Todd Viney's got it from the boundary line. Viney kicks and puts it out on the full. It hit the behind post.
And another thing about all their goals, Charles has kicked 5 in his first final. Pike has kicked 4 in his first final. And Schwarz, even though he's been around for 3 years, he's in his first final. He's kicked 4. Steins marks. Well, they're approaching the ball. Carlton are waiting for it. Here's Charles. No mark. But he's got a chance. Oh, well done. Pike! Was that a pass or a shot for goal?
He'll claim it's a pass.
Back he goes, right in front. Here's Dyson. Now Kevin Dyson hasn't kicked a goal. He's kicked 2 behinds.
Carlton aren't doing themselves much favours here with the way they're finishing this game off. There's players standing with hands on their hips. We've got Koutafidis, hands on his hips, head bent down at the moment. All the forward line, looking very disconsolate as Melbourne go to really grind it in.
Dyson for Melbourne's 19th goal. Oh, he's missed it. Well, they have missed some goals in this last quarter.
Well, I reckon Melbourne will be hoping all their finals are played here and not at Waverley. Although they play Waverley all right too, but they just have had some great performances on the MCG. Here's Steins at the back. Well played, Jimmy Steins. Always flattened. That was Williams getting in a hand pass. Then Mitchell. Around the corner goes Whitehead. Here's Andy Lovell for kick number 21. He brings it in towards half forward. Hilton. Jeff Hilton goes inside. Dyson fumbles. Brett Lovett, he's been a good player. Hopgood, oh, shocking hand pass. Straight to Hannah. Here's Whitehead. Now Lynn sprints clear. Oh, an ordinary kick as he's tackled and straight out of bounds. Melbourne have been far too good.
Their whole structure has been well. I mean, people talk about the possession game that Melbourne play, but when you've got forwards and they get the ball so well into their forward lines, the quality of Schwarz and Lyon and Pike and now Sean Charles, well, I think they've played the game very well today. Their tactics have been very sound.
20 seconds left. Down goes Phoebe. Here's Bond. And an open goal for Bond. Carlton's 3rd in this last quarter. His first goal for the day. Troy Bond, who played for South Australia this year after just 4 AFL games.
The thing is, Drew, I mean, that's Bond's first goal since round 14. Now, this is his 8th game since then, and it's his first goal. Now, if he's going to be a specialist half-forward flanker who's going to give pace and speed to this side in goal kicking, he certainly hasn't been able to deliver it over the latter part of the season.
Just 9 seconds left. Madden slaps it out. Mitchell in trouble. Williams gets it through. Gleeson looked like a throw. Finishes up with Mitchell. Siren beats him. He hit the post anyway. It should be no score. They've given the score.
Matters as little at this stage.
Well, what a thumping. Melbourne beating Carlton. So that's the 7th qualifier, beating the 2nd qualifier. And the margin 27 points after at one stage Melbourne trailed by 26. Down on the boundary line, Dipper.
Thanks very much, Drew. Well, one of the stars of today. How do you feel?
We gave ourselves a big chance before the game, and you know, the boys put in well, and you know, what can I say? It was just a brilliant effort by everyone, especially our centre guys. Shut Diesel out. You know, that was our job, and we did it. So
Now, last week you just got into the finals, and now you're looking like favourites now.
yeah, well, we'll give it a shake, and you know, a lot of people have written us off, but you know, we're still there, and we've got a full list, so you know, we'll give it a good shake.
And your own form's been fantastic the last 3 or 4 weeks. You must enjoy these big games.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm not looking forward to getting back to uni with Parko. He might be a bit upset, I think.
Well done, mate. Well done.
David Schwarz there with Dipper. And boys, never before has a team that qualified 7th won a final. Because never before we had a final 8. So Melbourne 18-15, 123, beating Carlton 14-12, 96.